It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds for UAE Team Emirates XRG, and indeed, what is the ambition of Juan Ayuso? Could he be there as a rider to try and help Joao Almeida later on? Being said, he's a brilliant climber, so it's not like he's a rider who has to be a satellite rider, for example, to give himself the sliding room. Absolutely not. He's one of the world's best climbers. They're going to see, they see the top of the climb itself. It's Juan Ayuso who is going to crest the top of the Port del Canto. This first categorized climb, he takes the 10 points in that classification. And behind, Mads Pedersen is going to pick up 6 points in the King of the Mountains competition. But behind, they're fighting valiantly for each and every point. It's going to be close on the line. Pedersen does indeed get there. It's the rider from EF Education Easy Post who picks up the 4 points. The 12 riders in the breakaway. At the back here is Brieux Roland, the 22-year-old Frenchman from Groupe Armor FDJ on Grand Tour debut. Damien Howson is represented for Q36.5 Pro Cycling, the 33-year-old Australian rider. Because there's bonus seconds available at the top, as we already see Jay Vine wanting to try and go early. He wants to try and get the jump, get the surprise. Sean Quinn, the former USA road race champion, trying to get himself on terms.
We're costing the top here.
Jay Vine takes the 5 points at the top of the Col de l'Espina.
That little bit of uphill, we see him here. Been on the front for quite some time.
There he goes, he crosses the line in Banasque. 20 points into the pocket of Mads Pedersen. He'll remain the leader in that green jersey. Meanwhile, at the front of the race is the man who was the first successful rider to gain a gap over the peloton on today's stage. Juan Ayuso, the Spanish rider, the 22-year-old, has tried to break away from the breakaway. Fuga de la Fuga. Jay Vine going out of the back meanwhile, as Marco Frigo, the Italian, is trying to close the gap to Juan Ayuso. It was like he catapulted himself out of the breakaway. And Juan Ayuso, he doesn't want any rider for company. He's saying, thanks very much for the little respite I was able to get on your wheel there, but I don't want to be with anybody on this climb. They're really ferocious attacks from Juan Ayuso. Look at the acceleration here.
Yes, big accelerations, just trying to quickly make a gap, and then...
My word. Visma Lease bike flying into that sweeping left-hand bend there with such speed on the climb, having to pull the anchors.
Yeah, there were some cars on the road there still. There is obviously guys getting dropped from the breakaway, or the former breakaway, let's call it. Big increase in pace here. It's really a day for UAE Team Emirates. They have the leader in the race here, and now they also believe that they can take some time with Joao Almeida.
After Tor Hoshoff, Dan old Christian Eiking. And meanwhile, from the GC favourites here behind, Joao Almeida is trying to break his rivals. Jonas Vingegaard is able to follow, Chacon is able to follow, Kuss is able to follow, as is Egan Bernal.
Able to celebrate early.
Well, what a way to win your first stage in your home Grand Tour. He punches the air, he waves to the sports directors behind. He can celebrate, he can realise what he's just achieved. The man from Barcelona, the 22-year-old Spanish rider, Juan Ayuso, was the man who initiated the move on the Port del Canto. 175 kilometres in the breakaway. Pro victory number 15. His first in his home Grand Tour. Make that Grand Tour stage victory number 2.
Team Joao Almeida is in a great shape, trying to get rid of all of his direct competitors. Didn't get rid of Jonas Vingegaard and Giulio Ciccone, but he must be feeling confident after that showing.
Marc Soler is going to take a handful of seconds over his rivals. They're keeping strength in numbers within the general classification. It takes a handful of seconds. It's Tom Pidcock who takes and wins the sprint from the reduced peloton behind.